We are continuing with Qoheleth, that's Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 19. So I'm just going to scan it first. It says, Ki mikreh v'nei ha'adam umikreh habheimah umikreh echad lahem. Ken mot zeh, ken mot zeh, v'ruach echad lakhol. Umoter ha'adam min habheimah ayin. Ki hakhol hevel. All right, let's break it apart. Ki, kaf yod, make it bigger for those of you on smaller screens. By the way, this is UHD 4K. If you're not able to access the higher resolution, it just means that YouTube isn't finished processing those yet. All right, so you might want to just check back in a couple of hours. 4, F-O-R, mikreh. Mem, if you're just listening at home, it's mem, kuf, resh, hey, or wherever you're listening at. The root being kara, kuf, resh, hey. Kara is to happen, like to occur. This is the verb that Moshe Rabbeinu used when he told the Pharaoh that the God of our fathers happened upon us, right? Like we just happened to run into him. Okay? So, not to be confused with kara, kuf, resh, aleph. Although sometimes kara is used as an alternate spelling for kuf, resh, hey, in which case it doesn't mean call, it's to happen upon. So, mikreh, this is like some translate it as fate. It's like a happening, right? Or a situation. Okay? So I'm going to go with situation here. Ki mikreh, for a situation, and the Septuagint actually translates this as if it was a construct state. I didn't mark it that way, but you could understand that way, in which case we would extend the construct to this. So a situation or fate of Venei Ha'adam, the children of the man, so that's of human beings, and mikreh, mem kuf resh he, the situation or the fate of habheimah, of the beast, mikreh, and the situation, the fate. The is kind of weird here. I'm actually going to interpret this as a vav emphaticum. So, exclamation point, mikreh echad, one fate. And if you remember the previous lessons, I mentioned that the fate that's being discussed, this isn't saying that God predetermines things, for example, that predetermines everybody's choices in their life or something like this. If you decide to interpret this as fate, the situation, the fate, it's about death. It's talking about death, that everybody dies, all the animals die, etc. All right? So let's go through that again. Actually, no, let's keep going. Lahem, to them, right? Umikreh, again, the I'm translating just as an exclamation point. I'm not going to say and. Mikreh echad, one fate. Lahem is to them, or belongs to them, meaning v'nei ha'adam, as well as habheimah. Kemot zeh, so the kaf here, the kaf is a preposition. So as, mot, construct form, death of zeh, of this one. So like, or as, death of zeh, of this one, Cain, kaf nun, such is mot zeh, death of this one. Or like, that one dies like this one dies like that one, something like that. Referring again back to Venei Ha'adam and to habheimah. The ruach echad lakhol. The but or and ruach resh shurik chet with the furtive patach. That's why we say ruach, not rucha. If you say rucha, that's Jewish Aramaic for the spirit. The at the end is the in Aramaic. Well, in Jewish Aramaic, it loses it later with Syriac and such. So the ruach and a spirit echad, one, is lakhol. Le is two, Ak is, we have the hey that got kicked out there, is to the kol, to the all. They all have a spirit. It's interesting. Umoter ha'adam. And motar, this means advantage, related to yeter, like excess, etc. And motar, it's kind of strange that like I would expect it to be a question, like what motar, what advantage is ha'adam, the man, or for the man, min habheimah, from the behemah, from the beast, like compared to the beast. Yeah, so I just checked with the Septuagint, and it does have kind of the understanding I was having here. Instead of just a kai, it does have kai, which is what the Vav often translates as, but then it has ti, which means what. And what is the mikreh? Oh, sorry, I wrote that in the wrong place. So here we go. I moved it to the right place. Kai ti. And what? That's for the u there. So maybe there was an old way of saying it this way, or a dialectical thing, or Qoheleth's just being oddly poetic. I guess if we're hyper literal, we could say he could be saying like this: umoter ha'adam min habheimah, and the advantage of man min habheimah over the animals, like more than the animals. See, so he could be kind of like just phrasing it like this, like, and there's an advantage that man has more than the animal, the beast. That's probably what's happening. It just is kind of odd when we don't really see it done that way so often. Ayin, ayin, aleph yod nun. There is none. There is not. Ki for hakhol, the all. So everything. In this case, the scope of everything is living things. Havel. So the word is hevel. I did accent the ta'amim, the sense signs in this verse, just to call attention to them. Is hevel, is vapor. Everything is vapor. All right, let's go through it again. Verse 19. Ki mikreh v'nei ha'adam, for situation, and if we go with Septuagint, the situation of humans, umikreh, and the situation or the fate, these could be the fate, meaning death, of habheimah, of the beast, umikreh echad, interpreting as a vav emphaticum, exclamation point, is mikreh echad, is one fate, i.e., death. Allah, or there is, yeah, really, rather, exclamation point, there is mikreh echad, one fate, lahem, for them, kemot zeh, like death of zeh, of this one, Cain, such, mot zeh, is death of this one. The ruach echad, and a spirit, one, and one spirit is lakhol, to all of them. Now this is one of those places where we prove that animals have a ruach, have a spirit. Ruach is the life, is the living spark of God that is incorruptible. It survives even death. Now I know some will probably try to treat this as if it's nefesh, but nefesh and ruach, there might be some overlap, but Qoheleth also uses the word nefesh. So this really seems to me to be some slight proof that animals exist in the Olam Haba. The Ruach Echad, perhaps we could translate for there's one type of spirit, lakhol, to all, i.e., the spark from God. Umoter ha'adam min habheimah. So going with the Greek, the Jewish Greek, kaiti, so what advantage And I'm just going to say has ha'adam, man, min habheimah, more than the beast. And then the answer to this rhetorical question, ayin. Aleph Yod Nun, ayin. There is not. You're probably more used to seeing this as ain, like we say ainly. There is not to me. I don't have, right? So, ain ish tov bekol ha'olam. There is no good man in all the world, right? So, but this is the absolute form, ayin. There is not. Ki, for or because, hakhol, the all is havel, meaning hevel, breath or vapor. Okay, I'll read through it one more time, and this time you just do your best to understand. I'm not going to translate, all right? Ki mikreh v'nei ha'adam umikreh habheimah umikreh echad lahem kemot ze kain mot ze v'ruach echad lakhol umoter ha'adam min habheimah ayin ki hakhol havel. How did you do? Some of you may recognize this from the Bikat Hashachar, the blessing of the dawn, right, from the Siddur. Okay, I'll read it one more time at more of a normal pace, and then we'll be done. Ki mikreh v'nei ha'adam, umikreh habheimah, umikreh echad lahem. Kemot ze, kain mot ze, v'ruach echad lakhol. Umoter ha'adam min habheimah ayin, ki hakhol havel. Okay, guys, have a great weekend ahead. Look forward to seeing you for our triennial Hebrew drash, usually an hour and a half to 2 hour long teaching. Also in the Hebrew text, we are currently working our way through Devarim this Shabbat. Hope to see you there. Special thanks to my patrons. Please, if you're led to give, please give. This work is dependent on gifts. All right, so we really appreciate all of you who give. And if you can't give, also at least give me a shout out in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Be well. Shalom, shalom.